Hey guys, my name's James.
My name's Presley.
And I don't mean to sound like a pussy, but this is the Height of Horror. The only horror podcast chatting horror and taking loads.
You're still on that one.
You're the one who started it. I just had to turn you up in my own headphones.
See, okay. I went in the red when we were shouting at each other just now.
Oh, well, okay, then just don't shout.
Okay, I'll use my inside voice.
Hey, you have a baby sleeping in the other room.
I wish you were asleep.
How often do your babies sleep?
It used to be more, and then he got the use of his legs, and now it's a lot less.
Okay.
And we're tired. That's why we don't do Parents Under the Stairs right now, because it does not make any sense. Because he is a heathen and will scream and he'll tap everything and he gets excited. Like, it's just a lot. So it kind of makes sense that Ian does his horror corridor, I do the Height of Horror, and one of us can be with him and entertain him.
The Height of Horror Corridor. We gotta get a collab going.
Oh, that's a good one.
One of us needs to start doing horrorcore rap music, and then bada bing, bada boom, we can do this collab.
If only we knew someone who does horrorcore rap music.
I guess the thing is, you should start producing beats for me, and then we go on and say, hey, we got this EP coming out. It's pretty cool. Check out our much better podcast, The Height of Horror.
That would be awesome. You know, it'd be cool, and I'm not sure if like a lot of people would be comfortable with it. Native American drum beat kind of thing going on. Have you heard Native American music before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so something like that'd be cool.
ABK has done it.
Oh, hey, that's right. Yeah, I'm not so much into... I like horrorcore, but I'm not so much into it since I'm not 13 years old anymore.
Oh, 100% people will ask me, hey, what horrorcore are you into? And I say, you know, the top dogs, and that's it. And by the top dogs, I mean Comatose. That's the top dogs. A single dog, Comatose. He does it well. And King Gordy. They're very good.
I heard Mars. No, maybe not. I don't know.
Mars talks like, oh yeah. I mean, that's also maybe 90% of horrorcore. I'm in the genre, which means I can talk shit about it.
Oh, I like Concrete. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I like his music a lot.
Friend of the Horror Corridor show.
Yeah, that's like Ian's, like, they call each other on the phone all the time. So I'm, like, forced to listen to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, Nicole is forced to, during pandemic, she was forced to listen to Rachel Sweet's And Then He Kissed Me, so much so that Nicole just knows the entire album. Aesop Rock's The Impossible Kid, Idea and Abilities by The Throat.
I fuck with that. There's
a song by... This is how Nicole knows that I'm actively very depressed and not feeling well, is if she hears the song Gum by Moose Blood, she'll be like, oh yeah, that's a really good song. But if she hears it a second time, she'll be like, wait a second. And then if a third time, she's like, okay, James is very depressed. I need to go talk to him because that's my on repeat song.
That's sad.
It's a good song though.
I bet it is. I just sent you another song that's really sad and really good.
What is it?
Bottle Dreams. I think it's by Idea, but the name says Oliver Hart. But it's by Idea.
Yeah, his like little offshoot when he did solo stuff.
Yeah.
I probably have heard it.
Yeah, my brother showed it to me one time. And if you listen to the song, you'd be like, why the fuck did he show you this? But it's so good.
My brother and sister, we'll get to horror, guys. My brother and... Actually, we were talking about horrorcore. That's tangential. Not tangential. That's... perpendicular, whatever the fuck word. This is all tangential. My brother would show me very like beautiful and sad music, and my sister would show me just energetic, horny music.
Okay.
Bright Eyes from my brother and Gravy Train from my sister.
My brother, one of my brothers, that's still alive.
Oh, no.
That's bad. Okay.
We're so in sync. I do those jokes, now you do those jokes.
Yay! I love dark humor. No, my brother John showed me like Fall of Troy at the drive-in, you know, like brand new shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other brother, he is like the most gangster rap motherfucker in the world. So be like Tupac, Biggie Smalls, like just opposite ends of the spectrum. And then that mumble rap came around and I'm like, I'm tapping out. Like,
well, speaking of things that you shouldn't tap out on, Presley, what have you been watching over this fortnight of horror? I remembered the name. Hey guys, we record these in every 14 days. That's a fortnight. The fortnight of horror.
So for horror movies, I watch Jack Frost.
Ooh.
Not the really good Michael Keaton movie, but the other one.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I died. It was so goddamn funny.
Hell yeah. Were you watching it with riff tracks included?
No.
Okay, that's how I watched it.
No, it was on Amazon, so I was like, okay, why not? It's Christmas.
I think I watched that at Nicole's parents' house, and I think I was like took an edible beforehand. I was like, oh no, I cannot finish this here. I need to just go to sleep.
It was the beginning. It's so dumb, but yeah, it was good. 10/10 recommend.
Hell yeah.
Oh, maybe like 4/10 recommend.
Yeah. It's a 4 out of 10 movie, but you gotta watch it.
You have to. What have you watched?
Well, real quick, Riff Tracks. They did it. Riff Tracks is kind of like a clean PG, hard PG, sometimes soft PG-13 type of dudes. And there's the, like, Jack Frost is, like, coming up from, like, that girl's about to take a bath or something. And then it, like, cuts to her, like, screaming, running out of the room or something. And then a little bit later, I think the sheriff's, like, getting, like, angry phone calls, and they're like, oh yeah, it must be all the perverts demanding why we cut out the rape scene. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's a very good call on horror fans who would be pissed that was cut.
Okay, I was wondering what riff track meant.
Oh yeah, it's the Mystery Science Theater dudes.
I've never seen that show.
What?
I'd never even heard of it before I met Ian.
Presley!
I was feral in Montana, James.
Okay,
I didn't know things existed.
You were just running every summer.
Just on all fours.
You should totally check out Riff Tracks. Like on Tubi, it makes so many just shitty movies watchable.
I'll do that.
Like Carnival of Souls, the original. Watch that Riff Track. They did a live episode.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. But what I watched over this past 2 weeks, besides the copious amount of step-by-step, cannot get into that. This is horror. I watched because I forgot to cancel my free trial of Trauma Now. I was like, I got to watch some trauma movies. Hey, I've always been wanting to watch this one. It's one of the like Lloyd Kaufman directed ones that I hadn't seen, and that was Poultrygeist. Return of the Chicken Dead.
Oh, God.
It's, I think, one of their, like, best shot movies. Of course, you get the normal Lloyd Kaufman, edgelord, schlocky humor, but the gore in this movie, for what small-ass budget they had, is amazing and fantastic. Nicole does not like trauma and said, oh, wow, this is fucking disgusting and I like it.
Okay.
So I would highly recommend just fast forwarding to when the chicken zombie apocalypse starts and then go from there. And once you're like, I think I've seen enough, turn it off.
Is it like, well, I'm just taking a shot in the dark here. Chicken farm.
Close.
And that's okay.
It's a chicken restaurant. It's commentary on fast food, mega conglomerates, big business stuff.
Okay, that's fair. No, that's all I had to say.
Yeah, okay. I recommend it. I think it is a 4.5 out of 5 movie.
That's bold.
I did watch it over the course of a week because I was very busy. So in the morning, I would just watch a little bit of it while drinking coffee. And Nicole was like, oh, why are you watching this so early?
Start my day right, Nicole.
Yeah, I have things to do, Nicole. And maybe if you woke up, actually, I probably shouldn't have done a smack noise as I was talking about interacting with my spouse. No, this is me saying, Nicole, wake up. Because please, just your alarm went off. Get up. But speaking of horror movies, you want to get into the reason for today?
Let's do it.
First, I got to find these notes.
I'm kind of the worst at notes. I took 4 and then I went to bed and then I watched it after work and I was just trying to watch it because we're super busy at work and I didn't take any more notes.
Well, I got you covered because today we are discussing Deep Rising, released February 2nd, 1998, deep in the frigid box office tundra that is the late winter. It didn't have a hope of making its budget of $45 million back. Why weren't you given your proper time, Deep Rising? Because guess what? This movie fucking rocks. Oh, you are supposed to come out the fall of 1997, but no one could really figure out how to get the right look of these tentacle monsters going. I guess that's why it was delayed a year. Post-production was like, I guess make them shinier? Do we have special effects darlings ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, to blame for this? Yeah, you better believe it, Presley.
I thought they were wonderful.
Yeah, but it took them so long.
Yeah.
But also, if it actually was released in 97, we wouldn't have done it for this podcast. So I guess we're okay on it. But I digress, Presley. Written, even though I said writing and directed, by Stephen Sommers. It's truly a miracle that he was already working on The Mummy when this was released, because it seems like his career would have been over if this bombed before his next job was secured. We wouldn't have gotten The Mummy. You know, Brendan Fraser?
Of course I know.
We already had from Stephen Sommers, I think, Jungle Book and the Huckleberry Finn movie, like Huck and Tuck or Huck and Cuck.
Ew.
Do you know that Jonathan Taylor Thomas was maybe in it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Did he do... No, I think he did Jungle Book, not Jungle to Jungle. If this dude did Jungle to Jungle, that'd be insane.
God.
We wouldn't have also gotten The Mummy Returns. I wrote Can Helsing, but it's supposed to be Van Helsing. G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, and more. So we should be happy that ILM shit the bed so hard on deadlines, even though it was probably the producer's faults. You want to hear some behind the scenes and factoids about this movie?
Yeah.
They originally planned to film in Los Angeles, but the water tank rental alone was going to cost $200,000, so they shot in Vancouver, Canada instead. They are quoted, someone's quoted saying, "They built a water tank there and it burst and flooded several blocks nearby," end quote. It ended up costing them roughly $600,000 instead.
Americans, that's what the Canadians were thinking when that happened. Those fucking Americans.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you should have just stayed in your own hometown. Things would have been better. The tank was already built. Why did you want to build a new one? Obviously, it's going to get a hole ripped in it or something and flood a bunch. Baffling. The film originally opened with a much bigger underwater sequence that was still included well into post-production, but special effects delays cost nearly a year of extra time, and the sequence was dropped. In quotes, someone is quoted saying, "The original visual effects team couldn't figure out the animation," end quote, so they eventually brought ILM aboard. Well, I'm truly sorry, George Lucas's team. You weren't the villains, but the heroes all along, because I started talking shit about them before I read this factoid. However, What should have been the first big monster movie hitting theaters in years ended up riding a wave of smaller films like Anaconda, Mimic, and The Relic, which we're not even going to get into actually right here. This would have predated Titanic by almost a year if it had been released in 1997. So even though this feels like a Titanic and, I mean, of course, an Aliens ripoff, it technically wasn't a Titanic ripoff. People were just thinking big boats at the time.
Wow.
What's something that, like, big boat related if a bunch of people started doing, I don't know, I guess hot air balloon movies and like, no, that doesn't even make sense, James. I don't know. It's crazy how there are two big boat movies being made at the same time, independently of one another.
Yeah. James Cameron did Titanic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I liked that one a lot more.
What?
I love that movie. This looks like a video game.
Oh, you've played on-rail shooters, correct?
No.
It's the arcade games like House of the Dead where you have a gun and you just like shoot things and then you move and you.
Okay, yeah.
Those are on-rail shooters because like you're technically on kind of a roller coaster rail. It brings you along all these different places to shoot. There are times when they are shooting these tentacles that it feels so much like, oh, shoot this little circle, shoot this little circle to hit that tentacle, shoot that one to shoot the tentacle. I was like, how was this not a arcade game as well?
Yeah, it just gives me the same vibes as like Mortal Kombat. You know, like same background, same like effects. Like that's all I was thinking throughout that whole movie.
I loved it, though. The only good thing that came out of Titanic was Thumbtanic. Have you ever seen that?
Over my head.
The dude who did Bruce Almighty and Kung Pao Enter the Fist, have you seen that?
Unfortunately.
Oh, dude, that movie rips. What are you talking about?
I fucking hate Kung Pao.
Oh, my God. Well, that guy started out with these shorts, these 22-minute parodies of different movies like Titanic called the Thumbtanic, and all of the characters were like superimposed on thumbs.
Oh.
It's really fucking good, guys. Bat Thumb, Blair Thumb. You like Blair Witch? Well, this is Blair Thumb. Franken Thumb, the God Thumb, which is the Godfather, and Thumb Wars.
Wow, that's so much thumb stuff.
Uh-huh. All of them either incredibly good or this was funny.
Thumb me?
Oh, yeah.
Funny thumb. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
You'll laugh so hard you'll be thumbing in your pants.
I hate you.
Okay, one last notes I got before we get in note by note. Chicago Times, Sun-Times, I should say, critic Roger Ebert included the film in his most hated list of 1998. Ebert called the film, in quotes, essentially an aliens, you should say, clone with a fresh paint job. Variety's Leonard Clady said the film, in quotes, is an old-fashioned B-movie with A-budget effects, but the quality sheen can't disguise the cheap thrills. And to be honest, that description is the perfect movie to me of this is a shit B movie, but holy guacamole does it have a huge budget.
Yeah, it does. It really does. All my notes are pretty much trivia about who is from what movie. So should I do those now or should we wait?
Yeah, do them.
Okay. So the dude Pantucci, he is Benny from The Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of The Mummy.
Yeah, that guy is in a lot of Steven Sommers. I think that was the dude's name, this director. He's in a lot of his movies.
That's adorable. I like how directors do that. Like Scorsese uses De Niro and DiCaprio a lot. I love that. There was a native in this movie.
Hell yeah.
The Hanover guy. The dude who owned the boat, who's like the really short like ratty looking guy who's like making the speech at the beginning of the movie. He is from Silence of the Lambs. He plays the psychiatrist. I knew his name last night, but it's slipping my mind right now.
Is he the guy that says, "Ooh, it's fava and Chianti beans"?
No, it's not Anthony Hopkins. No, it's Dr. Chilton.
Is it the guy who says, "He said, I can smell your cunt"?
That's not the guy. I hate that you said that word.
You're like, no, he is not Jodie Foster.
No, but just no to all future questions you have.
Okay, he's not the dude from Silence of the Lambs who says, "I want to believe." No, that's X-Files.
Yeah. No. He's not the dude from Silence of the Lambs who puts his wiener between his legs.
Hell yeah. I would do that to my friends all the time.
I hate that for you.
There was once where in the back of my friend Adam Sample's van, he had this cool ass minivan. So people fucked in there. And whenever we would be driving somewhere, he would let me have the iPod, and it became a quick James cut the shit out once he would hear that like he would start hearing Goodbye Horses come on. He'd be like, no, James, no, don't show your mangina.
Is that a thing guys do? My brother told me he has a friend and he'll just out of nowhere like make a little bit of a scene like, "Hey guys, look," and then everyone they're like with will look at him and he just has his like butthole pointed towards them.
Okay, I never did that. I would show my ass a lot because from a young age, it was just covered in hair. So it was funny to show people because technically I couldn't be in trouble for mooning people at school. I'm kind of just showing them a head of hair.
Oh, God. Okay, so guys aren't just showing each other their buttholes.
Oh, no. Butthole, I think, is
That's where you draw the line.
That person has a kink, and you should be aware of them at all times.
That's what I said. I said, John, that's not normal.
Yeah, no.
Because he shows balls and his butthole a lot.
Yeah. There was a photo that Lysicere and Demonic were like, "Hey, you should probably take that off from MySpace because it was me mooning." And they're like, "Your testicles are showing in that." I was like, "No, my little clackers." All right, but who else was in this movie from another movie?
You can't call your balls clackers.
Yeah, you do. It's the league calls them meaty clackers.
I hate that.
But mine aren't meaty. They're just clacking.
Oh. Kano from Mortal Kombat was in this.
Wait, he was?
He was the Australian guy.
Holy shit. I was like, man, people in the mid-90s really liked getting an Australian dude to just be an asshole. This is like in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was Kano.
All right.
And then obviously the chick was from House on Haunted Hill.
Which one?
Not the one that dies in the boat at the beginning, but the other one in the red dress.
Okay, so that woman, in the notes, it was said like they at first didn't want to get her. And I like that you're like, yeah, she's from House on Haunted Hill. They're like, you're too recognizable from GoldenEye, but your frame of reference is not a highly established franchise. The James Bond 007s, you're like, the House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen GoldenEye. I played the game on N64.
Is that her right there?
No, she's like the millionaires. That's the chick from Final Destination.
Okay. I found a bunch of DVDs in a box in an alleyway, but it was raining out, so I had to ditch all of the cases. So I have my binder full of DVDs, and it's on the first page, so I was like, I know exactly where that is. It's right by me. Here's House on Haunted Hill. Now, I have seen House on Haunted Hill riff tracks, but Vincent Price was in it.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Man, the payoff on that movie fucking blew. Just like, I'm a skeleton man. And I'm going to scare you, but it's not a real skeleton.
That was scary for the time.
Wowzers. There's so much, like, racism was rampant. That was scary, but then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, man, we can be like mean to our neighbors and like burn crosses, but this skeleton's scaring the shit out of me.
I know, that's not even like 100 years ago.
Yeah, man, people sucked back then. They also suck now.
They suck especially.
I wonder what people in 70 years will be like, wow, this type of movie scared these assholes back then. I think it's probably going to be the post 9/11 translating like terrorism into horror type stuff, which I maybe, you know, like Saw, that's a very reactionary to that. Or I don't know, like The Dark Knight is clearly that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm scared of that. I'm always terrified. Actually, no. Yeah, people will be like, oh, man, mass shootings just always happen. Why were people scared of that? Why were they putting that in movies? That sucks.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, they need to make a mass shooting movie.
It's too soon.
It's been happening, and it happens like every day now.
Well, we need to talk about Kevin.
Oh, that was an arrow.
It was still, yeah, because they can't actually do a mass shooting. That's why.
Same vibes, yeah.
The first, this is what will happen. The first people to make that movie, it'll just be like, oh, it's banned. Oh, we're not going to hold it. Oh, fuck this movie. Get it out of here. But that movie will be a sleeper hit. It will knock out the box office, and so many movie studios will be like, well, we need our mass shooting movie to compete with the competition.
Yeah, maybe not, actually. That would cost so much stuff.
I'm very excited to see how studios react to Terrifier 2, because that made so much money on its budget that I'm surprised we're not already getting a bunch of leaks of, oh, Universal is creating this insanely gory, hyper-violent, not even, or I guess borderline splatter gore fest movie. I'm excited.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Like, bigger studios are probably going to try and do some shit now.
Same with Barbarian. I feel like that's
I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, I feel like that's going to bring about a wave of this type of horror movie. Dude, watch Barbarian.
I know, it's on HBO Max. We just haven't gotten around to it.
It's so good. Please watch it.
Is the Skarsgård in it for a while?
I mean, there's a Skarsgård in it.
I love him. So if he's in it for a while, I'll watch that shit tonight.
I'm just saying, based on IMDb, he is in the movie. I'm not going to say for how long, when they arrive, what they're doing. Just based on facts, he's there.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, you want to get into this beautiful movie?
Yeah, it's been like a half hour.
Yeah. But hey, we've been talking horror, okay? Right off the bat, I was like, I need a level of stupid in a movie, and boy, oh boy, we get it here. Oh, man. It starts out, they're on a boat, and this boat, like, right away, boats don't look like this in the cockpit. It looks half video game, half Star Wars, in the sense that it looks like it's built from scrap parts.
Mm-hmm. And I just feel like it's like, there was too much going on. It was so small, but there were so many different parts in it. And there's people just going under and going over here, and it was a lot.
I wonder if, so he's playing solitaire, or not solitaire, maybe like poker, video poker on his computer. I wonder if that's a callback to in The Thing, how they had a solitaire, like, dedicated machine.
Oh, yeah. A little nod.
Or just so it's Chekhov's game over, because it'll loop back around at the end, because he like gets a game over as his radar type shit goes off board and he's like, hey, dude, that looks like TJ Miller. What's going on? I don't know. He says game ogre. Like when you're playing the Shrek video game, it says game ogre.
Did you ever play that on Xbox?
I played the racing game. Nicole and I are very into kart racers.
Oh.
So we'll play any kart racer. And that one fucking sucks so hard.
There was a Shrek video game in the early 2000s on the original Xbox 360, and I spent hours playing it.
So you were playing that, but not watching Mystery Science Theater.
I didn't know that existed until like 2 months ago.
It's real good, guys. Check it out. Was this Shrek game the 3D platformer, or was it the Mario Party type Shrek game?
It was like a 3D type thing where it's like choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Oh, like Goosebumps. Constantly turn into a new page?
I don't know. You had a narrator kind of telling you what to do and where to go and stuff like that. But
okay.
you had your own free will and a little bit.
Which I think that's the good one. The bad ones are the Mario Party version and the kart racer. Man, that kart racer sucks. So this dude there's 3 people who work on this ship and they are transporters. But they don't, no questions asked when someone wants to do. Can you see me in a camera?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't see my own self, so I was like, did my camera shut off? So these people have a team of gun-toting stereotypes who are like, we're men's because we love fucking and we love kicking the shit out of nerds. And they're clearly nefarious, but they don't know because, again, no questions asked. The leader of the group comes upstairs and he's like, hey, when are we getting to our place? And he says, oh, shit, something just slammed. Must have been someone outside. Scary. People are moving. Nicole, are you okay? Should I check on Nicole?
Yeah.
Okay. Nicole's okay.
Shout out to Nicole. I got my Darling Homebody stuff in the mail today.
Wait, already?
Yeah.
Dang.
I know. That's what I said.
Just so everyone knows, we did that Darling Homebody stream. We did not get to the $1,000, but we made in about 3.5 hours, 930. That's pretty good.
Fuck yeah. You got so goddamn close. And if I didn't have bills, I would have. Bought more shit. Nicole
brought up how her website was being wonky for a second because of like how you need to log in, and it was being weird for people. If her brother and cousin had made their second orders, it probably would have brought us over.
Oh, damn it. Next time.
Yeah. It was a good stream. I did 8 of the last one dabs, hot one style.
You took your shirt off?
Because I was getting hot. And I was looking sexy as hell, guys. But these people are like, hey, when are we getting to our location? And they point on the map. And he says, we're here and our final destination is right. And then it's a small screen. It's like an old CRT computer screen. And they pan on this screen and it goes beep, 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 beep. Here. It could have been like, we're right here and our final destination's here. They had too many beeps in it.
I didn't even notice that.
Sometimes I'm like, watching these movies and taking notes as well, you really need to be analytical. And sometimes I don't want to be analytical. I just want to watch a dumb movie. But speaking of dumb movies, the budget is on the screen during this beautiful casino set that is a set because it gets absolutely wrecked in the end. It looks magnificent and there are so many extras. That's how you know a film has a budget, because that's multiple like assistant directors having to coordinate this. It's multi-layered, Presley.
I noticed that. I was like, that's a lot of extra people just partying right now. Yeah.
Insane.
It's crazy. I wonder what their compensation was.
Just a normal day rate for non-union and a normal day rate for union. They probably at the time were making, like, depending on the hours, maybe $70 to $110. But it's multiplied by 200 or so over the course of a few days.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if there's film production in your area, just become an extra and make that your job. Our good friend Sean Marciniak does that.
Ian used to make short horror movies, and he said that he would pay people in food.
Well, see, and that's non-union. Or wait, is he union and not? I think if that's their union up in Washington, they need better union reps. Gambling on a ship. So, like, this is an extravagant ship. We'll get into this whole dude's spiel in a second. But gambling on a boat seems iffy because you roll the dice, and what if it's a good one and then the boat rocks and it tips it over? Or are the tables stabilized?
No, the boat was so fucking sturdy, you know? There was a scene where he's like, we could get hit by a 40-foot wave or whatever, and it wouldn't even rock us.
Okay.
So I assume the tables are, like, fucking strapped down and not gonna move.
Yeah, but what about a riverboat casino, like in classic Mississippi River, the Bayou?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not. Don't do that.
I wonder if is it like a 5-second rule of like, hey, you rolled it, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's what you got? Or is it up to the dealer's discretion if it tips over?
Guys, let us know at the Height of Horror on Twitter if you've ever played poker on the Bayou.
Yeah, please let us know. That is something that when I see it in movies, I think I love lighting that is with Christmas lights. And that's kind of how most of those boats look like they're lit out on the deck in these movies. And is bayou boating, casino boats even a real thing?
I don't know.
Or is it just in Disney cartoons?
Bayou boats are real.
But casino boats on the bayou boats.
Shit. Fuck. I'm sure it is.
All right. I think Nicole's parents did do it wasn't a bayou boat, but they did do a casino boat, but probably in Lake Michigan.
Oh, and that's not really Southern Bayou.
Oh, yeah, no, that's Northern Shitville.
Like Midwest.
Yeah. Oh, Muskegon is Midwest, but it's also Northern.
Are you from Muskegon?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
And Michigan,
okay.
Yeah.
You're Midwest. Just fucking nothing to do with anything. Did you ever eat chili and cinnamon rolls together?
No, ew.
Okay, fuck. No, okay.
I think
Proceed.
Isn't that an Ohio thing?
No, that's a Montana, South Dakota area thing.
Oh, Ohio, I think, is spaghetti with chili.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard of that.
It sounds good. Or like the sweet chili on spaghetti. Or maybe that's St. Louis. I don't know. Midwest. They're like, hey, man, the winter's coming, and this is all we have. We need to make do because we can't go to the store.
Oh, but you can't have chili and wash it down with the cinnamon roll?
I guess, okay, I guess right now, currently, I can't be like, oh, cinnamon rolls, I want them because I haven't done sugar all year.
That's fair.
And it would wreck me completely. There's this place called Frank's Diner. When we went to Kenosha last year, we were like, oh, what's good places to eat? And Frank's Diner was there. And they have a cinnamon roll that is the best cinnamon roll I have ever eaten. Every component of it is perfect. Nicole was pissed because they didn't have a gluten-free one. So as I was just housing it, she's like, no, I want it so bad. I was like, you can eat the cinnamon sugar coming out of it. She should have.
I would have licked the plate.
Oh, yeah, I did. And then she, I think, was more pissed because she's like, clearly it's so good you're licking the plate. Oh, man. Boats, you know.
Boats and hoes.
So this man with the glasses who owns this boat, he says, can I have your attention, please? Let me interrupt your merriment. Welcome to the mated voyage of the Argalargalog. He says he does not pronounce any of the consonants in this word. It sounds like he said, welcome to the Argalargalog. I'm like, what is this? I wish I had subtitles on.
What? It was Argonautical or Argon something.
That makes more sense than Argalagalog.
There was a T in there somewhere.
He did not pronounce it. And he lets us know that this has been his dream, to make the most expensive, most lavish, most premier ship ever. That's his childhood dream? That's been his ambitions, Presley? That makes no sense. I'm over here. My dream is to make 12 grand in 1 year.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I made a $480 million boat so rich fucks can just piss in the wind on.
Yeah, that's not what I would have done with that. But
measure their dicks and clits on.
Literally.
I am so anti-decadence. I hate it. I think just live a modest life, have a few Yogi Bears in front of you, and you're good.
Yeah, I agree. We don't have a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, you only have 2 kids. If you had 3, that's an extra kid.
We have a cat. That's basically a child.
Okay. Now, cats are self-sufficient.
Yeah, they're assholes.
What? No, they're not. They're little cuties and you want to hug them.
They're mean.
Sometimes.
Our cat's mean.
Henry was, but that's because he was returned to the shelter twice. So when we got him, he was probably like assuming he'll be sent back, but no, boy, we're going to keep coming back to you over and over again. You're not getting rid of us.
Aww.
And then Butter, the only bad thing she technically does is 1, not let us cut her claws, and 2, just to eat whatever's on the floor. It's like, dude, that's a chunk of plastic. Quit trying to eat that.
Oh, Butter.
We had to take her to the vet today because her butt's bleed, or there's blood on her stool, but they're pretty sure it's just because she's not getting enough water. So we got to monitor that.
You got a waterboarder?
Mm-hmm. She gonna get waterboarded real good. So then we're flashing back to these people in the boat. One of them's like, I think the Kano dude is like, oh, I get seasick, and he's barfing. And this other dude sees the barf and says, oh, I'm hungry. That reminds me I need to eat. And they're like, ugh, gross, man. You just ate for one. And he says, well, I'm still a growing boy. I thought that was cute.
Ew, but the food he was describing that he wanted to eat.
Well, okay. I think that he was intentionally trying to make this man puke because another person just blows smoke in his face to get him to vomit. If someone intentionally makes me vomit, we're no longer friends because that is a to-do for me. I scream vomit and I'm done for the day.
Would you throw up on the person in protest?
No, because I'm not a dick.
You aren't. No, you're not. I would.
No.
I would get it on their shoes.
That's mean.
Just enough to ruin their day, not like make them punch me.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to ruin their day.
Well, they ruined mine by making me throw up.
Then what I will do is just guilt them into let them know they ruined my day.
No, I gotta get revenge. I'm sorry.
They'll know they ruined my day because when I throw up, an entire restaurant will hear. That happened once. I went to this place real quick. I've said it on other podcasts. There's this place called Country Dairy. It is a farm that makes milk, cheese, and ice cream. Delicious stuff in Michigan. But they have a restaurant that makes dairy-related things. They have a delicious panini there. If you want a grilled panini cheese, go to Country Dairy. But it was a few towns over, so it takes maybe 40 minutes to drive there from Muskegon. They also have chocolate milk on tap. So I just waited. I didn't eat a lot. And I was like, I'm fucking pumped. I'm going to go there and slam all of this food. Well, you should have just slammed chocolate milk. I ate like a whole panini and maybe 6 cups of chocolate milk. And I go, oh no, guys. And I proceed to go into the bathroom and throw up. So I walk out of the bathroom after like my eyes are red, like veiny, because like that's how loud and violently I throw up. And I was with my ex and our friend Ashley. I look at our table, they are not there. I see them outside and I'm like, why are they outside? This is a farm. It smells like cow shit out there. The restaurant does not, just the outside does. Inside smells delicious food and of chocolate milk. So I walk outside, the door closes behind me and you can like hear the door close. Their faces and heads dart towards me, see me and start laughing so hard. And I was like, why did you guys leave? And they're like, James, the walls must be paper thin because the entire, like you were echoing through the restaurant, throwing up and we were laughing too hard.
Oh, that's sad. Classic
James story right there. But barfing, it sucks.
Echoing.
They're paper thin walls, I guess.
Ooh.
So the TJ Miller looking dude who's in The Mummy, he goes snooping around to see what this payload is that these fuckers have. And he opens up one of the things and it's clearly a missile. And he's like, oh, I'm going to touch this. This man deserved to die in retrospect. I'm like, man, I hope he doesn't die. But no. He deserved to die. And his girlfriend, I cannot believe they killed her. She should have lived because this man deservedly starts getting the shit kicked out of him by the people who are like, hey, you said you wouldn't ask questions. This is technically asking a question, but getting the answers on your own of opening up our payloads. It's bad on the guy who's like, oh, hey, I'm going to not ask questions in this field because like you're doing illegal shit. You can't just be like, well, I didn't know. And they have these like speakers on the headsets to like communicate to one another. And like clearly he's getting the shit kicked out of him. And his girlfriend, who's up above in the cockpit, goes like, aren't you gonna help? And he's like, oh, I don't have to do anything or something like that. And she just goes, no shit, you gotta do something. And just like does the shoulder shrug emoji, and so poorly acted. I feel like this was a one take and they're like, that's all we have time to do.
Yeah.
Then we get introduced to the lady from GoldenEye or from House on Haunted Hill. And she's badass because she's just like going around stealing from people, kind of like a cat woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes the captain's key code and she goes into this big vault and she's like, hell yeah, I'm going to steal all the cool jewels and whatnot here. And the captain shows up out of nowhere and says like, oh, you sure are a little trollop. And I was like, I'm a little trollop too. I like people saying, instead of like slut or skank, just trollop. It's kind of like whimsical.
Floozy. That's another one.
Floozy's good. I hussy is a bad one to say to people, but I used to say a lot of things as it being a parody of my mother. And one of the things my mom would say is like call people hussies. She'd be like, oh, that little hussy. So I started saying it and now I just say it. It's part of my vocabulary now. And I don't know. Is hussy a cute one to say?
It's kind of aggressive.
Yeah. Hussy.
You fucking hussy.
You fucking trollop. Yeah, you because like there's a dollop of Daisy, but also Daisy is a trollop. A trollop who's Daisy. Dang. I got to make that movie. A trollop who's Daisy?
Mm-hmm.
Nicole, write it up. She's in the other room. Yeah, I like floozy. Whore is not good.
Whore. If you say it like that, not whore, but whore.
Whore sounds like only like white women from old money say whore.
Whore, yeah.
Or Stewie Griffin.
Or Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, but he's from old money.
Yeah.
And he's sexy enough to be a white woman.
I love him. He's peak beauty.
Did you know he's only 52 years old?
I wish that were the case.
I'm a cheeky little trollop, guys. But this Canton dude deserves the harshest death because they're going to send her to the brig. And she says, a lady doesn't belong in the brig. And he says, well, you're no lady, you slut. And then gets thrown into prison.
Yeah, but then she's just having a fucking ball. She's drinking champagne and eating hors d'oeuvres.
I wrote down walk-in storage, champagne, delectable treats, and I'm a hot-ass babe. I think this solitary confinement thing is gonna work out in my favor. Also, do torpedoes have hard disk drives on them? Because when they're like programming the torpedo, like the spinning disc comes out. I'm like, I don't think that's part of a torpedo.
I think everyone did in the early 1990s action movies.
Yeah. I mean, we're part of the generation that our technology's microchips. Their technology was just a spinning disc.
Or yeah, like a little disc or like a floppy disk with like a bunch of codes, like dumb shit like that. Mm-hmm. Like that's like Stone Age stuff.
Well, Stone Age stuff is clams.
Yes, or stones.
Or like tiny little, what's the smallest animal I can think of? A baby chipmunk just tapping along Morse code. That would be in the Flintstones. Or ants. Ants would be technology.
Oh man, if ants were like bigger, they would rule the world.
Yeah, because they can lift, guys.
Mm-hmm.
They have them gains. Chris Gaines.
Oh, I just peeled this off of Ian's computer.
Uh-oh. That's his hard disk drive. It's no longer spinning.
I'm gonna blow up.
Holy shit, there were ants in there. Okay, so all of a sudden, a torpedo launcher is getting mounted to the front of this dude's ship, but all of a sudden, after a bunch of shit goes down on the cruise liner, we see something just shoot out and hit into the propellers and into the hull. And the ship rocks and goes crazy. They're like, which is crazy that people just start running like a rampage out of the boat when it's like, I would stay still or go to my room. I would be like, whoa, what the fuck was that? Titanic hadn't been released yet, so a sinking ship wouldn't be in their minds.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering too, because they really did just take the fuck off and were like doing the whole trampling thing, you know? Trampling on people. Maybe they were trying to get to the lifeboats though, because they were panicking.
Yeah, but no one gets to no one uses a lifeboat, which is very weird.
Yeah, like that chick goes to the bathroom and locks herself in.
And holy shit, guys, this is not Deep Rising. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ghoulies 5. Ghoulies go cruising. Because Nicole was watching this and they're like, she goes, They can't really be doing this right now. She's not, okay, nope, yep, she just got sucked into a toilet by a monster. Ghoulie style.
Ian was like, did she fall in? I was like, no, she got dragged in.
Yeah, somehow. Because now that we know what this monster is, it's just a big old tentacle. How would it have sucked her in? I guess like it's like when you're like eating a push pop, but it doesn't push up all the way. So you have to like put your tongue in there and kind of like slurp out the rest of it. Like the suction cup pulls it into your mouth. This tentacle could have just gnawed onto her ass ass and then just the rest of it, muscles, just suck it in because it's all muscle. That's got to have some big old suck power. That's like a Dyson.
Yeah.
Ghoulies 5, baby. Someday someone will make it.
There was a monster joke in there somewhere, too.
Oh, absolutely. Instead of being sucked down, she just takes a big old shit.
Yep, there it is.
And then the monster is the monster and is just getting stronger by sucking people's asses.
Oh.
Okay, let's say. There's a device that can suck your ass and it just immediately flushes all your poop out. A total of 2 minutes. What is that something you would use?
How long does it take you to take a shit?
Well, okay, well, there's not a lot of after cleaning.
Okay, so it's like...
It just sucks it out.
It's okay. You don't have to do
Okay. You don't want to answer? Is that what you're saying? Or you don't want to use it?
I don't like this conversation.
Okay.
I would use it, but...
Well, I'm
Yes.
focus testing. I have this device over here that kind of like it's a refurbished clit sucker, but I'm like, I think this has more uses, guys. It does specifically say don't put on your anus because it could suck out your colon. And I was like, well, what if we put like a tube inside of the butt and then suck? Will that suck out the duties?
If I didn't have to do the dirty work after, then yeah, I'd use it.
Okay. The Ghoulies are helping me with this. They're pioneering this technology. Oh, okay, well, I will say some like green slime does have to go inside of your anus. The Ghoulies will not budge on it. They say the green slime, they're still in litigation against Nickelodeon. I don't think they're going to make it out because Viacom, big company, Ghoulies, that's just 3 weirdos hanging out. Presley, you have to say it just becomes me being a degenerate if you don't respond.
I don't have a response.
Say like, yeah, man, them Ghoulies is cool.
Oh, your Ghoulies are cool.
Or say like, yeah, those damn big business.
Oh.
Viacom. Oh my God, Presley, this is when we find out. You're like, hey, corporations are people, and you want to know if they got that big because they're better than the small guys. And you're saying the Ghoulies, they should be got run out of business, and Viacom deserves to use the green slime that, quite frankly, the Ghoulies have been doing since the early 80s.
No, I'm Team Ghoulies.
Okay, who good?
Yep, support small business.
The Ghoulies. Okay, so all of a sudden they like hit a speedboat or something, and then a big old hole gets in the transportation ship. So they're like, what are we going to do? Oh, whoa, we see this big old cruise line, not knowing that that's actually the final destination, which is death.
Yeah.
You can't cheat it. Okay, guys? The only thing in life you can cheat is your diet. Because that's fine. Unless a doctor tells you to get on a diet, then you probably shouldn't cheat it. Because guess what? You can't cheat death.
Now you have heart disease.
Now you got gout. Or GERD? No, yeah, gout.
Oh, what's the other one? No, is it GERD? It's not GERD. Scurvy.
Scurvy. Well, okay. I sometimes am afraid I might get scurvy. I live on land, but my diet says like, yeah, James, you could totally get scurvy.
I don't know what scurvy is.
It's when you don't get enough like vitamin C and whatnot in you. And from my diet, I eat ravioli, hot dog, and beans. But luckily, I do take vitamin C supplements. But if I was not, ooh, baby, I'd be riddled with the scurv.
James got scurves.
Oh, look at my bodacious scurves. And then the doctor's like, this is not something you should be proud of.
You're dying.
Your skin is a different color. And then I say, well, yeah, that just accents my curves, my scurves.
You just got scurved.
Yeah. Oh, yes. But when you go on to so they're like, hey, let's get on to this big old cruise liner. And the villains are gun-ho to just start shooting up people like, hey, we need to be ruthless and just like shoot to kill or whatever they're saying. And they go in, and sorry, guys, this should be a rule everyone needs to follow. If you go onto a big ship that's on the ocean and it is in ruins, desolate, you don't see anyone, leave.
They couldn't, though. Their boat was wrecked.
I don't care. I'd rather hang out on my boat than be like, something crazy happened. It's either a ghost ship, monsters, or other pirates were here first and they might be lingering.
That's fair.
And pirates who really want to murder everyone. Also, if all the lifeboats are still there too.
Oh, there, yeah.
That one of the dudes says, it's total spooky town. And I was like, what? Who wrote this? So the lady, the girlfriend who is just the shoulder shrug emoji, she is tasked with repairing the hull of the ship that has the hole in it. And when she's down there, all of a sudden this dead body floats in it and it's bloated. And when it surfaces, it looks like the adult human version of Mac and Me.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Mac and Me is?
No.
Oh, it's that E.T. ripoff. And instead of Reese's Pieces, he drinks Coca-Cola and eats McDonald's.
Oh, no, I don't know what that is.
Okay, go on Netflix, search Mystery Science Theater 3000 and watch their Mac and Me episode. That should be your first Mystery Science Theater.
Okay.
For sure.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because it was a Netflix original series for 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
You will also be pissed at me for making you watch like this disgusting looking alien. Ugh, he's gross.
I've never seen the original E.T.
He's also gross. In retrospect, E.T. is a just giant turd.
That's fair.
Have you ever seen Paul Rudd on Conan O'Brien? Are you looking at Mac and Me? Yeah, he's disgusting. Presley's having a blast this episode. Laugh into the microphone.
He does look like...
Yeah, he looks like that bloated corpse.
I hate you.
If I can take a screenshot of that and of Mac and Me, I will. But they're traveling. They're going, and then they get to the vault, and when they open up the vault doors, axe to the head, one of the main dudes just gets killed by the captain because they're like, I'm so sorry, I thought it was one of the beds, oh no, and they're like, what's one of the beds? Tell us what happened here. And no one's clearly something fucked up happened. Listen to this man saying, something's on this ship that killed everyone.
That was a very solid kill, though.
Oh, yeah. Also, this is when James Bond lady meets up with the team in this elevator, and she thinks it's one of the like bad guys, so she like hits TJ Miller looking dude in the nose, and he's like, come on, man, you broke my nose. And she goes, not like anyone would notice. And I'm glad this was written in the script because I'm like, what the fuck is this lady's problem? Like, she doesn't know him enough to say that. And the TJ Miller looking dude goes, wait, what is going on right now? Why did I deserve that? It's very funny. Then they get down, they all convene into this elevator, and it's going up and down, up and down. There was a very funny joke that Nicole enjoyed of all of a sudden elevator stops, then starts going as elevator music goes on. And they're like, what is this? And the comedic relief goes, oh, it's Lady of Kokomo or whatever. And they're like, that's clearly not what we were asking about. But once they get down to the like bottom floor, the walls are just painted in blood, and shit's getting real Resident Evil Silent Hilly now.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if this was starting to using miniatures, because how the walls are like crinkling as these tentacles are trying to travel through the walls is awesome, and I want to know how they got those effects.
Yeah, it was so good.
This one dude starts calling the girlfriend who is repairing the hall the chick with the muscles, which is what an uncle would call me as a teenager because I had long hair. And in retrospect, he could have done a double dig. He could have said the chick with muscles who actually doesn't have muscles. He's the doughy chick. You want to know what? If an uncle had called me a doughy chick, I would have been like, hey, I got to give it to him. That's funny. It'll scar me, but at least it's for the lulz. And then we're starting to get into just ramping up nonstop action because they shoot at this tentacle and it flops out this body, and it's one of their friends, Billy. And he is half digested. And this was fucking awesome, Presley.
It was. Ian said it was good. And then he said it was disgusting.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, I did too. It was so disgusting because you could see his bones and ligaments. The skin was ripped away and half of the head, skull was gone. But the brain you could see, it was beautiful.
It was amazing. I feel like he was still deteriorating though, while he was you could see his hand was fading away more. Yeah, it was dope.
If you see your friend like that, immediately just shoot them in the head.
That's what I was thinking. I'd put him out of his misery.
Mean. Absolutely rude. And at this time, throughout this entire thing, even when we picked this movie, I said it's a Titanic Aliens mash 'em up or remix, but also you get the T2 tentacle thrown in there, like the T2 Terminator 2 when the T guy, he's slicing, he's a tentacle thing, you know?
Haven't seen Terminators.
Whoa, at least watch the second one. That's real good.
I know. I've missed out on a lot of normal people stuff.
I will say Mystery Science Theater is not a normal people thing, so don't feel like you have missed out on that. If anything, actually, since it's more you should have been watching this, that makes more sense that you missed out on that and not Terminator 2.
That's fair.
But I think ILM did the Terminator 2 stuff, so I think they just carried that over into this. That could be it. I could also be wrong with them, ILM doing Terminator 2.
Well, we have the box set. I've never watched it.
Don't let Shane Poppin' Wolf know that you haven't seen any of the Terminator movies, because he'll be like, what the fuck have you been doing with your life? It's the greatest Arnold, baby.
Does he sound like that?
No, he does not sound anywhere near that. The Atari... Oh, yes. I was like, what's the Atari? That's, I guess what these tentacle creatures are called, but 1,000 feet under, they're the size of pencils. The 20,000 feet, they're this big. Just think if 40,000. Oh, would it be like this? Yeah, and I guess they're called the Atari. And guy who loves decadence says the Atari are very crafty. So they're Beastie Boy-like.
Yeah, and I'm like, how the fuck does that guy know that? Of all people, he's the one that knows everything about them. Yeah,
it should have been someone on the team or the dude who has the boat. He knows of the sea. One of them should have. And then he says they'll drink you alive. They'll just consume you. They'll eat you whole, and they have teeth, vagina dentata inside of them, and they just crush you. They pop you open and suck the blood from you.
I like how he said, and then they'll defecate your skeleton.
Which that happens.
Yeah.
Is that my next note? No, not yet. The power of these things is awesome. He said that as well. And no, that would be okay. Yeah, these monsters are huge and the power is technically awesome, but you wouldn't see a camp counselor in Friday the 13th be like, the power of Jason Voorhees is awesome, as your friends are being murdered by him.
I could see if that slipped. Like, Jason gets creative and kills the homie, and you're like, that was awesome.
Yeah, I think in like the Michael Bay one, like the meathead guy would have said that, like, yo, man, you gotta show me what reps you do.
Or like, cool.
Jason Voorhees would hear that and just not understand, because he's like, well, I just live. That's how I do this. And they're like, yo, man, I'm on that paleo diet. I guess I should do paleo living, where I just live it. I live feral. Like you in the summer times, running around, not watching Mystery Science Theater. So they end up getting to this kitchen area, and they're left with a choice of, do we wait here, or do we go to the boat and try and get off this ship? Do we wait for help? What do we do? What would you have done in this situation?
I would not have sat and waited for help.
Oh, dang.
I would have brainstormed.
I think because it was full of food, I would have just stayed there.
Well, take a to-go box.
No, it's full of salt water. A lot of things will be immediately ruined if you get salt water on it.
Yeah, like everything.
Yeah, like my delicate skin.
No, yeah. Why you would sit and wait?
I think I would. Also, it never gets brought up. Clearly that tentacle didn't like fire, and I thought they were going to use that. Because when in there, the tentacle tries to get that dude who's like, I'm staying here. And then the stove, the oven catches on fire, and it just immediately goes, ah! And runs away.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how they didn't say, maybe we just fight it with fire.
Oh, well, technically they kind of did at the end.
Well, an explosion isn't fighting it with fire.
That's fire.
But still, the force of the explosion blew it up. The fire did not.
Okay, that's acceptable. I'll accept it.
Do these special guns that they got from China have infinite ammo?
I had that exact same thought because they weren't stopping at all.
And I think they did that on purpose of, hey, let's make these super high tech, not of the real world, so no one who's pedantic is like, well, when are they refueling their guns?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, there's no clips, there's just shooting. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. No, I thought that same thing.
Which made it even more like a video game.
Exactly.
And then they're being forced into the hull of the ship or the bowels of the ship. I don't remember the correct terminology. And we get this Silent Hill, just what they were saying, a feeding ground. No, this is the toilet, because it's just bright red skeletons with almost all the meat just devoured in a vagina dentata tentacle, just all over this room. It looked fucking badass.
Mortal Kombat vibes.
Yeah. Like when they go to hell.
Yes.
Or the netherworlds, I'm sorry. But what doesn't have unlimited ammo, Presley, is the main guy of the villains shoots TJ Miller looking dude in the leg, because he's like, oh, the only thing that slows them down is when they feed. I'm going to shoot him. But he jumps into like a dummy waiter. And then that guy gets chewed up. And TJ Miller sees him later as he's like being half eaten and is like, oh, hey, here's the gun. Don't say I never gave you anything. And this guy, instead of shooting himself immediately, takes the time to shoot once at TJ Miller to kill him, but then he doesn't. He's like, what the fuck, man? And then leaves. So then he puts the gun to his head. Already knew this was coming. Click, no more bullets.
That fucker. Had it coming, though.
The hubris.
That looked so awful, though. It was slowly eating him. It wasn't even doing the thing where it's like, no.
It's stuffed, that's why.
Yeah.
And then we see this big ass, I called it, it's not a mother brain, it's the mother Krang, because it looked like Krang from Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this big blobby thing with a beak on it and eyes, and it's in the main casino room just tearing shit down, and it's a beautiful scene. Our hero gets wrapped up in it, but he says, I got a shotgun, shoots it in the eye, and the eye socket just, it's leaking. She's soaking wet, just spraying out everywhere.
What did he say? Don't look at me, or what are you looking at?
Something like that.
Something cheeky.
He says, ice to meet you.
Ew.
And then Shane Poppenwolf comes in and he's like, you know that Arnold movie, but not the Terminator franchise? We're like, you're supposed to be in Michigan right now. And then my last note is it was Titanic. It was Aliens. It was Terminator T2 Judgment Day. And then it becomes Battletoads at the end. Have you ever played Battletoads?
No.
There's like this notoriously difficult NES game, Battletoads, and the very difficult part is they're in a sewer-looking area, and they're like on a jet ski in a sewer, and it's very fast-paced. And that's what this last scene is. They get on a jet ski because the ship is just done, their transportation one. They saw this island and they're like, we're going to jet ski to the island. They blow up the ship, get there. And of course, we thought TJ Miller looking dude, he was dead, but no, he's on a surfboard on there. And I called it. I was like, this island is going to be either the home of this tentacle monster or like a skull island with Kong on it type deal. And yeah, it was. They're like, well, what now?
Yeah, like volcanoes, really.
It was cool. This should have had a sequel.
I was wondering if it did. I didn't get a chance to look it up, though, because I had to get right on this chat. Yeah.
It was good. I highly recommend this. Out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
Like a 4?
Yes, dude, me too.
I liked it a lot.
Actually, my rating for these is like, if it's 4 stars, that means I loved the movie. If it's 4.5, it means either I want to immediately show people or tell people to watch it. And the 5 or 4.5 is if I would watch it while falling asleep. And I think I would not watch this while falling asleep. So I think this is a 4.5 star because I think everyone should watch it.
Yeah, that's fair.
4.5, guys. 2 thumbs up. Any more thoughts on it?
I liked it a lot more than I thought I might.
Same.
Yeah.
I went into it knowing that it had become like a cult classic B movie. So I was like, okay, at least there's going to be things in this that, like, it's a movie with things that I know I will enjoy because I like shit movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, hell yeah. Are you ready to pull from a bucket stein, though?
Yeah, do it.
Oh, man, what are we going to get? I had to recount these because during the Darling Homebody stream, the cats did knock this over, and I was afraid Butter had eaten slips of it, but she did not. They're all in here. Just tell me when to stop, Presley.
Okay. Are you moving it?
Yeah, I'm moving
Getting in there?
Yeah.
Getting in there?
Hold on.
Fuck
Now
yeah.
I am. It looked like you were fingering. Stop doing that.
Okay, stop.
Okay. I just have one in here. Oh, man. It feels long. It might be Phantom of the Opera. What is it? No, it's a movie called I've Been Waiting for You. I do not remember anything about this. Would you like me to quickly check?
Sure.
I've Been Waiting for You. Oh my God, this is just, I see the cover of it and it is straight up, I know what you did last summer looking. It's a made-for-TV horror slasher movie directed by Christopher Litch. The film is based on the 1997 novel Gallow Hills, written by Lewis Duncan.
Any notable actors or actresses?
Holy shit. Yes, Sarah Chalk, who you might know as the mom in Rick and Morty or from Scrubs. Punky Brewster, that woman is also one of the main people. Looks like the 2 most notable are Punky Brewster and Elliot from, did I say ER or Scrubs? I meant to say Scrubs.
No, you said Scrubs.
Okay, good. And that's what we're doing next week. This is probably only available on YouTube maybe, but I will find it and we're going to watch it. Woo!
Woo! Hell yeah.
You got anything to plug?
No, not really. Horror Corridor. I talked about Parents Under the Stairs in that situation at the beginning of the show, so I'll leave it at that.
Hell yeah. Hey guys, listen to my music under Marshland Monster, new single with Dragon Boy Suede, aka Howard Kramer, released last week. It's called Baltic States. It's very good, very funny. Check it out wherever music is found. Also, head over to patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. New podcast. Ooh, it's so good. It's so delicious. Yum, yum, yum. But if you're a $10 patron, you get monthly exclusive content, like straight to Patreon. This month, we are doing, not Santa Jaws, The Killing Tree. We've talked about it. Go check it out. It's on Tubi. And you get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast, so let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z, The Waz, Orion, he's a rapper, Defo, D-F-O, Kayla, a.k.a. Two Grapes, Jordan B., The Chaos Witch, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jakis, Steve Barnes, he's Intro Void, check out his music, oh my god, it's the womb in which I emerged, my mother, and finally, Lil Corey's BFF and roommate, Shane. I've been James.
I've been Presley.
And this has been The Height of Horror. Woo! We are so golden.
Like a shower.
Dang.
Dang.
I can't go anymore.
Oh, I'm not talking to you.
Wait, you're not talking to me or not talking to...
No, I wasn't talking to my husband.
Okay. Oh, yeah.